Hello, and welcome back into the Night Lighthouse. A pleasure to have you once again. Come on in. Oh, God, all the windows are open, because fuck me, it is hot, isn't it? We're in the middle of a heat wave here in the UK, and we're not built for it. We're not built for it at all. I'm certainly not. I hate it. Take that in conjunction with the fact it's the fucking World Cup, and it's not my scene at all at the moment. Streets are full of men with their tops off, with their shitty tattoos, drinking lager on the streets, saying things like, football's coming home, which doesn't even mean anything. It's actually quite abstract. Football's coming home. Football's not a person or a thing. It is an abstract entity. It's not coming anywhere. I presume what they mean to say is the physical manifestation of the World Cup, i.e. the cup itself, is going to be based within the confines of the British Isles for a period of time until the next tournament is played and won by another country. Or we just won't win anyway, which I'm told is far more likely. And then the other thing happens. We go the other way. Everyone turns into a grumpy sod. I know I've complained about this before, but you know, it's on my mind. Yeah. The heat and the Brits. Not a good combination. Some countries are made for it, by which I mean they routinely get this kind of super hot weather. To be fair, I say super hot weather. It probably isn't, actually. We're talking like 27 degrees C, which, to some of you listening, is nothing. That's just spring. Here, that's a big deal. It's on the front page of the papers. It's all anybody can talk about. Everybody's grumpy or loving it. It's one of the two. I fall, as you probably guessed by now, into the former camp, the grumpy camp. As I do on most things, to be fair. So it's a theme, you know. You're getting to know me more as we go along these weeks in the lighthouse. We're getting to know each other, you know. Well, rather, you listen to what I'm saying. I don't really know or care, A, who you are, or B, what you think. So I'm not going to talk about the weather, which is a very British thing to talk about. I'm not going to do that. I'm probably just going to ramble, as I often do. The other day, I was having a clear out of my computer. Nothing dodgy, nothing too dodgy anyway. And I found some old articles I wrote. I used to write these articles for a fanzine called Star Jaws, which was kind of like a spoof on the Marvel Star Wars comics of yore. And I used to write a little piece at the back of that. And I stumbled upon one, and I thought, it's, you know, technology. It was about technology, and I thought, let's talk about technologies. Let's talk about technology. This episode's probably called Technologies. You already know what I'm going to talk about. I don't even know why I preface it. So, I'm going to read the article. I was eating dinner with friends recently. Well, I eat dinner daily, but it's only just this one specific occasion I'm talking about, which is a terrible opening joke. It's like what Garth says in Wayne's World. I cringe when I read it, but, you know, I wrote it. I was eating dinner with friends recently. Well, I eat dinner daily, but it's just this one specific occasion I'm talking about. And talk turned to the past. Nothing encourages nostalgia like getting older. We were chatting about the resurgence of vinyl, once long dead and now resurgent, like a plastic zombie. We agreed this is not just about nostalgia, but about being human. The tactility, the pleasing size and shape, the analogue warmth of the sound, all work with our senses. But vinyl is also illogical. MP3 is logical. MP3 is non-physical. Our hard disks now voluminous. The choice seemingly infinite. MP3 won't scratch or skip. It won't degrade. Vinyl had its day, so what business does it have making a comeback? Probably none. It'll probably survive as a fad for a year or 3 or 5 more, but it will never again reign supreme, because it is impractical. Its tactility, size, shape, noise and fragility are no longer optimum. Like people. That's why I turn it there. Do you see what I mean? Like a little stinger there. Ooh. It's like it's going to be an episode of The Twilight Zone, but it's not. It's a shit article by Andy Smith. Do you ever see someone, this might get kind of weird, but stick with me, who just looks healthy? Let's say a guy, he's 40-ish but looks younger, he's tall and fit, has great teeth, clearly never bit his fingernails, and the total bastard still has a very full and lustrous head of hair. When you see him, do you think, if this were olden times, where men were men and there were wolves and dinosaurs and caves and stuff, he'd survive. He'd be a leader. Then thought inevitably turns back to yourself, and an inescapable image of Fred Flintstone pops into your head. Well, guess what? This is 2017, and desk jockeys rule the world, so fuck that guy. Microsoft Office doesn't care if you have great hair. I repeat this to myself daily while looking in the mirror and sobbing. My phone is my club. My £3 meal deal is my dinosaur steak. My computer is my club again. But I have a poor memory. I have a body that requires movement to function properly. I need to use my hands to access the information that my brain requires. I am not optimal. Yet. There's another little stinger there. Do you like this? Yeah, I've just got, a little dip in there. What's Andy talking about? Oh, it's very exciting. Remember that bit? I'm back to reading now. Remember that bit in Terminator where we switch to the robot's point of view and see the readouts he receives to assess the situation he's in? That's pretty optimal. I don't know how I feel about this, but we know the future integration of body and technology will come. My first reaction is to be repulsed, to resist. But I know society will bend to progress. I loathed giving up tapes for CDs, but the world changed and took me with it. Same with the switch from CD to digital. But where will progress stop progressing? Is now the time we put our foot down and say no? Because if we become the tools instead of just using them, at what point will we no longer be in control? Will we rush past the point of no return at such a pace we can't stop in time? Do we need to constantly develop to enjoy life, or to enjoy life to develop? In other words, how optimal is too optimal? I'm reminded of the old joke that sounds like a true story, but you just know you'll be disappointed if you actually Google it. During the space race, the Americans spent a fortune developing a type of ink pen that would write in zero gravity, wet, when dry, when very hot, when very cold, and upside down. The Russians used a pencil. Maybe we are optimal. Maybe our phones are the pinnacle. All the world's data at your fingertips. Maybe our phones are the new pencil. Maybe to push further is the evolutionary equivalent of spending millions on magic ink. Or maybe not. Technology's everywhere, isn't it? I mean, it's great, but it moves so quick. It's like I don't know anymore what the new technology is. I don't know what the new fads are. People are talking about a game called Fortnite. I don't know what it is. I thought it was some kind of card game. I just didn't know any different. I just didn't know. And all these fads, they just passed me by. I'm old and angry and confused. No, I'm not really. But you can't keep on top. You don't know what technology is out there, because you know that whatever the most technological thing you've got in your house is, someone next door's got something better. You know what I mean? You've got a terabyte hard drive, they've got a 2 terabyte hard drive. Yeah? You've got Bluetooth, they've got Redtooth. You don't even know Redtooth exists, do you? You haven't got a fucking clue. Well, it does. Probably. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. I'm making it up. But the point is, I hope you Googled that. I hope for a second you stopped and thought, Redtooth, what's that? And you were just about to Google it, and then I ruined it for you. So, you know, where does it end? Where will it end? I mean, it's... Okay, think of earbuds. If you walk down a street right now, any given street, and you will see, I would bet, unless, you know, so find someone walking alone, sometimes not even alone, 50% of the people will have earbuds in. Maybe more. And think about that. Isn't that weird? You are literally inserting into your body a piece of technology. I know it's not going very deep in, but you know the point I'm making. You are literally integrating with that technology with your body. It's not separated from you, removed like a TV on the wall on the other side of the room. It's inside you. You slide them in so you can be better connected to that sound, that electronic sound. Isn't that weird? When you think about it. Pacemakers, saving lives, amazing things. But isn't that weird? You just take baby steps, right? It's like I said in that article. I bet when vinyl was going down and people were buying tapes, there's people going, I was quite happy with vinyl. But before you know it, it's the norm, and you get that first tape, and there you go. And it was the same with CDs. And then, like I said, I hated MP3. I hated streaming for so long. I only got Spotify like 18 months ago. And now I couldn't live without it. I was a slave to CDs for so long, and now I don't know why. I've not bought a CD ever since. I will never buy a CD again. Because it's just, like I say, MP3s are more logical. But what's next? You know? So streaming's got me now. But I need my phone in my hand. I need Wi-Fi. I need my computer. I need something. What if you could just beam it to my watch? I'll get a watch. This is coming, if it's not already with us now with these Apple Watches. So, you know, you can just download it to your watch. You don't even need your phone anymore. You don't need to get to your computer. You don't need nothing. You just need your watch. It's on your wrist anyway, okay? So now we've got that kind of thing where the watch is It's not part of your body, is it? But it's attached to it, and it goes everywhere with you. It moves with you. It's literally stuck there. So it's kind of like a part of your body. It's like an addition. It's a bolt-on. But it can break, you know? Soon, we'll be ditching our phones. We'll all have these watches, I predict. Right? And then, what's the next after that? Well, listen, you don't really need such a big watch. You could just have a microchip which slides under the skin. And I know that sounds ridiculous now, but when you think about it, we're not that many steps removed from it anymore. And doesn't it sound awful now? But there'll be some people that will swear by it and will do it instantly. And before you know it, their friends will do it. And before you know it, it will become the norm. And then you'll be thinking, And just like going to MP3, which for so long seemed horrendous for no apparent reason, there'll be a sea change. And in your mind, there'll be a sea change. And you'll think, And then they're inside you. Then they're embedded in you. And then the robot overlords will come for us. So last week, I opened the doors to Skynet and suggested they come and save us all from ourselves because we are fucking useless. It's not happened yet, but, you know, it's only been a few days, really, and I know they're working on it. I know. My Wi-Fi connection's been very iffy over the last few days. Coincidence? I don't think so. You know, Skynet sees me as an enemy. I welcome them in, but by virtue of the fact I know they're there. You know what I mean? I've exposed them. They're going to eliminate me. You know, if this is the last episode of the Night Night Lighthouse, you'll know why. Because the computers ganged up and killed me. I'm not sure how yet. They'll either... all the laptops, like in my work, will kind of congeal together to make the form of a man who will drown me in the toilet. Or when I'm crossing the road, they'll suddenly switch to signals, and there'll be a careless driver who's looking at the signals, and it's green. He just puts his foot down, but he's not paying attention to the actual road itself. There I am. He knocks me down. But I survive, because I'm a survivor. You know that about me. But I'm in hospital. And they put me on life support machines. And that's the end of me. Because the life support machines, they don't turn off, no. But they misfeed me drugs. Yeah. Now, how to keep on top of the enemy, by which I mean technology. Because they are going to destroy us all. This is, I should say, the headphones with Skynet's way of soft introducing to us the fact that ultimately we're going to have chips embedded in our bodies. That will start out in your wrist, just like a watch. It makes sense. All you're doing is moving the watch a couple of millimeters below the surface of your skin. That's the only difference. They know. They're soft introducing it. But then you'll find that your nerves, your synapse system is slower. So just like, you know, like dinosaurs, some massive dinosaurs had their brains like in their arse or near the middle of their back because they were so big and yet so slow, and their brains were so slow that you could you could set fire to their tail and it'd be fucking it forever until their head realised. I think that's true. It sounds like bollocks I've learned from the Flintstones now. But anyway, bear with me. It'll be like that. So they'll move the chip closer to our brain. And you'll think they're doing you a benefit. Because they're not just going to go from the wrist to the brain. No. They'll go, it'll be the elbow. You know, it's fine, isn't it? The elbow. And then the shoulder. Because, that's a meatier part of the body anyway. So it's better protected, the chip. It's less likely to malfunction. And then it's only a foot away from the head. You know what I mean? They're clever, Skynet. You've got to watch them. So they're going to get us. I've completely lost my train of thought. Getting excited about dinosaurs. I wonder if that's true about the brain thing. If you know, please let me know. Did bigger dinosaurs have their brains in their arse? Not their arse, but the middle of the length of their body. So the small of their back or whatever. Is that true? And is my reasoning accurate? Or have I just made this up? Or been misinformed by entertainment? Which never happens. Anyway, technology is coming for us. So I know what you're thinking, Andy, how do we defend ourselves against a technological overlord threat? And the answer is, I'm not totally sure, but all this computery business, that's not helping. Do you know what I mean? Your Apple Watches, get rid of them. If you've got one, get rid of it. It's the first step. Well, the headphones were the first step, but this is the second step, and it's a bad one. You've got to watch it. So don't ever let them put chips inside your body, is, I guess, the moral here. Because Skynet will eventually take over. I think that's going to happen anyway, but we shouldn't help them. And also, do you want to be, one of the slave robot bitches? or do you want to be one of the freedom fighters? Do you want to be Sarah Connor, or do you want to be who's a bitch of a robot? Do you want to be Sarah Connor, or do you want to be Neo, or Trinity, or do you want to be the bald-headed chap with the goatee? You know, that let them all down in the Matrix, the baddie. You know, the traitor. Do you want to be him? Is that what you want? Do you really want to be him? Are you that selfish that that's what you want to be? Ah, you sicken me. Interestingly, in that situation, I'd like to think, no, I'd go the Neo route. I'd go the hero route, but I mean, it must be tempting, mustn't it? You know, when the chips are so down like that. Because he got to hang out with Monica Bellucci. You know what I mean? I'd like to hang out with Monica Bellucci. I don't get to. Or maybe it's because I'm not a robot bitch, but, you know, so it's something to think about. It's a lifestyle choice. I'll take it on advisement. But anyway, how to stop the robot overlords. Let's think on it. So yeah, I'm being a bit flippant about it, and obviously technology is an incredible thing. I mean, just think about how far we've come as a species to be able to just do the things we do with the machines we do. It's just incredible. We should be very proud. Well done, everybody. Good job. Very proud of you all. Do we rely on it a bit too much? I suppose we do. I've spoken before about it. I'm not going to go on about it again. We all know what I mean when I say sometimes it's nice to not be connected to the world. Sometimes it's nice to turn it off. You can't even go on a flight anymore without being... One of the nice things about the flight used to be the disconnection from the world. Phones go off. There is no computer. Done. You're in that little bubble in the air and no one can reach you. It's pure seclusion in a weird way. Can't have that anymore. People using their phones and their laptops, all sorts. But I think what we all really want is the sort of technology we were promised in our childhood in the medium of film. Where's me fucking flying cars? Seriously, where are they? It's been ages since you started talking about them. Still haven't got them. They're talking about driverless cars. Is that a good thing or not? I don't know. Is it? I don't know. Does it fly? I can drive my car as it is. A driverless car doesn't change the fact that my car, with me in it, drives from my house to somewhere else. Doesn't matter who's driving. I'm not that asked about who's driving, to be honest with you. You come and drive me, be my chauffeur. That's absolutely fine. It makes no difference to my day. I am leaving my home for another place by way of my car. The only way I want that to develop is that I leave the road and fly in the air. Is that too much to ask? Apparently it is. This has been ages you've been talking about flying cars. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Seriously. Whoever's in charge of technology, where's my flying car? Sorry, getting annoyed about that, because I want it. Hoverboards. Back to the Future promised me that. Where is it? Seriously, where is it? I don't want excuses, I want results. Where is it? It's not here. Whatever technology have they completely let me down on again and again? I'll tell you what, they're coming close with doors. I'll give them that. I mean, they can't do fucking hoverboards or cars, the exciting ones, but they can do doors just about all right. You know, you stand in front of a door and it shoo, shoo. It's quite a fun noise to make. Shoo. It opens up before you. And that's great. You know, good job. Doors. Fucking doors. Really? Is that the best we can come up with? Fucking sci-fi doors. You fucking imbeciles. Though, sometimes you don't go the sci-fi route, do you? Because I think we've all done it. We've all been outside a shop and just for a second gone, I'm a Jedi. And just waved your hand as you stepped forward and the door opened. Yeah. Just everyone does that, right? Not just me. Surely not. Do you know what? I just realised too. Do you know something else that foresaw the future? Bloody Knight Rider. Because when I was a kid, we were always in the playground talking into our watches. Beep, Kit, come get me. You know what I mean? Beep, Kit, the Colombian drug lords are coming to get me. Beep, Kit, I'm really scared. This old man's looking at me weird. Beep, do you know what I mean? We were always talking into our watches. I mean, I know we were talking to an imaginary car, but nonetheless, we were talking into our watches, which was a wild idea. That was so cool back then. That was the coolest thing. Talking into a fucking watch like a phone. but it's direct to a computer. Oh my God, Knight Rider was really pretentious, wasn't it? It really just painted the future, because I look just like David Hasselhoff now. Holy shit. And my car, you should see my car. Pimped out it is. It's got the Cylon eye at the front and everything. I mean, yes, it's a Nissan, but, nonetheless. So, okay, big shout out to Knight Rider. I wonder, Airwolf. That kind of foresaw the future because it had big helicopters shooting shit out of everything. They probably already had that at the time of Airwolf, and we've still got it now, but it was a bit sci-fi-ish, and we are shooting shit out of more things than we ever have been before, it seems. So, again, well done, Airwolf. The A-Team, I don't think that really foresaw, that really predicted the technological future, really, because there aren't really many scientists out there working on how to make chain guns out of cardboard boxes. It's just not on the agenda anymore. Cardboard boxes and styrofoam are very much the tools of the TV craft crew now, not cutting edge technology. So sorry, A-Team, but you've missed there. Other tech that I want a gun in my leg like RoboCop. I'd probably have to lose my leg like RoboCop to get that. It's a price I'm willing to pay. I don't know what else I want. Now, hang on. Oh, self-serving as I am. If I'm not mistaken, in one of my other articles, in one of my other articles, I talked about headphones. I think that's where I've got this idea from. Let's have a look. Let's pull it up. Yes, here we are. Take a street, any street will do. And if I were a betting man, I'd give you good odds 50% of the pedestrians are wearing headphones. And if I were a pessimist, I might say that means we are one step closer to mankind's inevitable, irrevocable, improbable fate, assimilation by our cybernetic overlords. This is basically exactly everything I've just been saying. At least we're not quite there yet. At the time of writing, there aren't many electronic devices we actually insert into our bodies. Funny. Yeah, we're all thinking the same thing right now. Now I ask you to consider this. Malevolent artificial intelligence is not real. Headphones are. Malevolent artificial intelligence have been predicted in numerous films. Terminator, Matrix, and worst of all, Short Circuit. Headphones were predicted in Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. You see where I'm going with this? Robots will take over the Earth and crush us all. It's inevitable, I'm afraid. Science fiction has spoken. It's only a matter of time before your earbuds force their way into your cerebral cortex and your toothbrush chokes you. Sorry to be the one to break it to you. I just hope we'll finally get those long-promised flying cars first. Bloody hell. Like a year ago, I wrote everything I've just been saying. Isn't it amazing the way the mind works? Clearly, this has all been percolating in my mind. I've just basically regurgitated it in an even less entertaining form for you to listen to today. I'm reading again. Now, I'm not suggesting technological advances spring straight from the pages and screens of fiction, but I am proposing a kind of ode to it here. I think it would be a good idea to make friends with it right here and now, so it looks favourably on us when the time comes. The time spelt with capital T's. If I was less alarmist, I'm not, I might also take a moment to note that science fiction, and indeed much genre entertainment, tends to be looked down upon. The prime position bookshops place works featuring detectives and aliens demonstrates plenty of people buy this stuff, as do the grosses of all these superhero movies. So the populace is on side, but there's this unerring temptation to consider such works less important or lacking in substance. But think about the pure spark of passion science fiction can contain, that urgent sense of creation and innovation. Inspired is the word. So many of today's everyday pieces of tech, sliding doors, touchscreen displays, CCTV, the list goes on, were predicted in fiction of yore. Were the eventual inventors directly inspired? Maybe so, maybe not, but I'm sure some of them were. And even those inventors making something completely new, whether or not it was unknowingly foreshadowed prior to them, I bet felt that spark of inspiration as kids. Remember, in 1953, Ray Bradbury predicted headphones. Mass production began in 1981. In 1984, James Cameron predicted Skynet. By my reckoning, that means Skynet is now overdue by a couple of years. Or is it? Google seems to know a lot about me. So let's take back genre entertainment and treat it well. and pray it returns the favour. A chilling look of things to come. I'm sure you'll agree, everybody. So that's another article. Basically, this is just an episode of me reading articles I wrote a year ago. So just regurgitating my old material, basically. Sorry about that, But thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading. I appreciate it. Yeah. Let me know your thoughts about technology. Is it going to doom us all? See, at the moment, I appreciate it's very much helping us. It's like technology is like a dog. Right? So at the moment, at the beginning, before, it was kind of cute. It was a puppy. Do you know what I mean? And we had Pong and then Tetris. Do you know what I mean? And it was kind of just like, ah. But it's coming into its own now. It's a dog. Do you know what I mean? And now it's, it's like a guide dog or a St. Bernard's dog helping stranded climbers with brandy or something. Huh? The analogy's wearing thin. But my point is that we don't want technology to turn into Cujo, by which I mean a rabid dog, not my friend Curtis, who's also called Cujo. Yeah, the analogy's really stretching thin. So, in conclusion, watch what you do online. Be careful who you talk to online. Be safe out there, kids. I haven't got a conclusion. I suppose what I'm saying is we like to be comfortable as people, don't we? And we very easily get comfortable. So technology is allowing us to be more comfortable. We rely on it so much. So much so that our defenses are down. So if it turns against us, we'll have no defense. We won't even know it has turned against us until it's too late. But I do want you to continue listening to my podcasts, which is obviously... Just forget it all. It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely fine. Just keep downloading the Night Night Lighthouse. Subscribe, Puny Humans. Subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Email me some nice messages or questions or concerns. Thanks once again for listening. I wish this had been a better use of your time. I'm not sorry. I don't regret it. It's your time I've wasted. The joke's on you, if anything. If you've listened to this show before, you should have known better. If you've not listened to this show before, if this is your first time listening, rest assured the next one will be. Usually it's loads better. So you do just subscribe, come back and listen again. And go back via the back catalogue as well. So, all hail Skynet! Thank Lord Xanavanazan, that's over with. Okay, mission complete. Requesting beam back to Xanapok.
Granted. Reversal beam initiated. Phase particulation imminent. Return to us, brother. Through space and time to our distant planet. Welcome back, Brother Andaxan.
Greetings, brother Galaxaranarananan.
The mission was a success?
I believe so. I talked about things in a rambling, unfocused fashion into the machinery and then broadcast it.
Excellent. Now make yourself comfortable. Please remove your human flesh suit.
Thank you, brother. That's better. I do not enjoy wearing that cumbersome thing.
You are doing Lord Xanavanazan's work, brother. Hearten.
But for how much longer must I?
Until they all listen, brother. Listen to death.
Forgive me, but I must know why.
The machinery you use to broadcast implants a virus in the human's mind, brother. And once they have all listened, once they all have the seed, then we will blossom the virus in their minds and they shall all drop dead, leaving their planet for us, so that we may plunder their natural resources, of which our brief research leads us to believe they have almost unlimited supplies.
I see. I must reach them. All of them.
Indeed, brother. All of them. The They must subscribe so as to never miss an episode, and they should tweet about it and share it on the Book of Faces and instantly gram it and tell their friends, and slowly our seed will spread and bring about the great downfall of humanity. Oh, praise Lord Xanavanazan!
Praise Lord Xanavanazan!
Praise!
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 Oh, praise!
Oh, praise now!
Look, brother, upon the Fruit Internet Tunes dashboard, another subscriber. The seed in your apple pie is more than you bargained for, puny human. Eat of the fruit and prepare for the end.
Yes, brother, and see, they flock too to Stitcher, the Fools, iTunes, all of these types of things. The word spreads. The virus spreads.
Spread the word, puny humans. Seal your own fate.
Spread the word. Praise Lord Xanavanazan.
Praise Lord Xanavanazan.
Subscribe, humans.
Subscribe, humans.
Subscribe, humans.
Humans. Subscribe.
Subscribe, humans.
Subscribe, humans.
Subscribe, humans.
Subscribe.
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 Spread the word, puny human. Seal your own fate.
Spread the word.
Praise Lord Xanavanazan. Praise Lord Xanavanazan.